Assuming we clear out the lines, the most hypnotizing star I perceive is the star that could stun our sky. It is this one. Scarab Juice or Scarab Pound. It's a red, exceptionally enormous star. Besides, on the dubious chance that you put it where the sun is, it would loosen up to the circle of Jupiter. It's tremendous, totally eccentric, and going to detonate. It's not generally so clear as it gives off an impression of being in the universe. These Goliath occasions, like the most nonsensically dreaded huge starbursts, could shake all that we find. Furthermore, in any case, take the necessary steps not to see its center. Bug juice has been viewed as a sign, a red, very giant star that is typically more huge than our sun. Brian Cox and other space experts figure it could go supernova, which has made individuals terrified about what will happen next. The James Webb Space Telescope is taking stunning photos of the star, bringing up the question of when Betelgeuse will transform into a supernova and what titanic effect it will have on Earth. We should figure out the star in the grand body Orion that sparkles so splendidly that even people from quite a while in the past have seen it. The sublime star Bug Juice is arranged on the eastern shoulder of the star grouping Orion. It is the second largest star in the star gathering, and its name comes from this element, the beast shoulder. It is quite possibly one of the most splendid stars in the night sky. On top of being very brilliant, the star is likewise an odd shade of red, which, as we will see, suggests trouble. We've had some colossal involvement in bug juice for a really long time. A Greek observer named Timoi also centered around it. Around that time, the essential thing individuals saw about stars was their variety, and Timoi said that it was a toadstool-colored orange. In modern times, experts have been zeroing in on the star all the more enthusiastically, and presently they have a splendid idea of what works everything out such that inquisitively splendid. One of these characteristics is that the star changes brightness an incredible amount, with an unmistakable extent of 0.6. Betelgeuse is a variable star, which implies that its brightness changes over time. As of late, experts have discovered some new data about the star. In 2019, experts previously saw that bug juice was acting unpredictably. Despite the fact that bug juice didn't totally quit shining, it wasn't the same. It had become considerably less bright, shining at a degree of 1.6. Experts immediately began to investigate the reason for the 10th brightest star acting in this fanciful way. Specialists expected to offer a surprising explanation considering their research, which revealed rare signs from the star. As per their revelations, Betelgeuse could go supernova at any moment. Brian Cox, a renowned researcher, shared this shockingly hazardous explanation. As a recognized professor of particle physics at the University of Manchester School of Physics and Cosmology, you shouldn't dismiss his perspective as a joke. He also has a science show, writes popular science books, and is the Royal Society Professor for Public Engagement with Science. Brian Cox says that Betelgeuse is, by all appearances, a ticking time bomb since it could go off without advance notice. To make matters worse, the James Webb Space Telescope has shown a legendary amount of evidence to back up this explanation. But what unconventional signs has bug juice shown that have caused such a lot of concern in space science? With the new data about Betelgeuse, the star has been named a supernova candidate. Despite the fact that investigators are as yet uncertain when it will detonate, the fact that bug juice is twice the mass of the Sun is one explanation for this categorization. A star, as it's been stated, must be several times the mass of the Sun to be known as a supernova. Things get truly fascinating anyway because examiners have utilized various instruments to investigate bug juice. For example, the James Webb Space Telescope and the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, to see what's going on in space around Betelgeuse. What they found is still a mystery. It was brought into the spotlight on August 31st, quite some time ago. Around that time, the star bug juice offered odd clues that made its future uncertain. What did they find? Well, they detected curious light waves coming from the star, or from Betelgeuse, which is very peculiar. Anyway, it wasn't the only thing specialists saw from the star. This returns us to the probability that Betelgeuse is a star whose brightness changes periodically. It was said that Betelgeuse dimmed down at regular intervals and had dark spots, much like our Sun today. However, the conditions are different. changes from bright to dim twice as fast as it used to, which is another indicator. Experts found the star's dimming cycle had hit a remarkable level of 1.61 in February 2021. This was not long after the massive dimming event of 2019. That event is now known as the Great Dimming. We could see that this was the beginning of Betelgeuse's surprising behavior, which made many worry that Betelgeuse was going to explode. The range of dimming was 1.2 between 2019 and 2020. And the lowest level of dimming ever recorded was in 2019. Experts were confident that Betelgeuse would go supernova within the next 100,000 years. Considering the extraordinary dimming, something remarkable is happening in the universe. Experts quickly changed their opinions when they observed what happened next. Bug juice got brighter again after the incredible dimming, and it became something even more striking. Astrophysicist Andrea Dupree at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics says the star is now 150% brighter than normal, making it the seventh brightest star. Experts were terrified when they saw a red glow in the southern part of the sky. Today, it still gets more interesting because this has led to various theories about what caused the incredible dimming. First, it's important to note that not all stars have the red glow of Betelgeuse. The red glow of Betelgeuse means that it's a red supergiant star, which is the last stage of a star's life. The red glow, on the other hand, is caused by a surface temperature of around 3,500 Kelvin, which is much cooler than the Sun's outer layer of 5,500 Kelvin. Since bug juice is cooler than our Sun, it emits less energy per unit of surface area. Nonetheless, it is more massive and will explode. Now, let's examine what the dramatic dimming of Betelgeuse looked like. Brian Cox asks, does it genuinely mean that bug juice will go supernova? Generally, the fact that Betelgeuse is a red supergiant already indicates that it is nearing the end of its life as a star. A dying star will also frequently weaken over time, which is something experts understand. However, Betelgeuse's recent astonishing behavior has made scientists focus even more intensely on it. Moreover, many telescopes are now zeroing in on the phenomenon of the dramatic dimming. Still, things get even more intriguing because scientists don't yet have a complete understanding of bug juice. Researchers are currently developing new methods and technologies to investigate the star further. Some have even suggested that the Great Dimming of 2019 may have been caused by a massive ejection of material from Betelgeuse's outer layers, forming a dust cloud that temporarily obscured the star's light. Another possibility is that Betelgeuse's dimming and brightness variations are linked to its internal structure and the processes occurring in its core. As a red supergiant, Betelgeuse is in a state of advanced nuclear fusion, where heavier elements like carbon and oxygen are being formed. This unstable stage of stellar evolution often leads to violent and unpredictable behavior, including significant fluctuations in brightness. Interestingly, while the eventual explosion of Betelgeuse as a supernova is inevitable, experts emphasize that it poses no direct threat to Earth. The star is located approximately 642.5 light-years away, far enough that its explosion would not harm our planet. Instead, it would create a spectacular light show visible from Earth, potentially even during the daytime. Astrophysicists are excited about the opportunity to study a nearby supernova in real time, as such events are rare in our galaxy. The last observed supernova in the Milky Way was Kepler's supernova in 1604. When Betelgeuse does explode, it will provide invaluable insights into the life cycles of massive stars and the processes that shape the universe. For now, scientists continue to monitor Betelgeuse closely, using tools like the James Webb Space Telescope and other advanced instruments. They are searching for any new signs or patterns that could indicate when the star might finally reach the end of its life. Until then, Betelgeuse remains one of the most fascinating and enigmatic stars in the night sky, capturing the imagination of scientists and stargazers alike. Utilizing the most cutting-edge devices to observe the captivating events occurring around Betelgeuse, the James Webb Space Telescope has been one of the best instruments astronomers have used so far. Since 2021, the James Webb Space Telescope has been in space and has helped experts gather significant data about Betelgeuse. The new photos of Betelgeuse's astonishing dimming, taken by this telescope, have shown that the event caused a massive mass release. Based on new research, We now know that this mass ejection was 400 times larger than a typical coronal mass ejection. The James Webb Space Telescope can also observe things our eyes cannot, such as light waves and frequencies. Consequently, scientists are excited about what the telescope will uncover. Researchers have observed dust clouds forming on the star's surface that resemble leaves floating in space. While this seems puzzling, despite the fact that Betelgeuse will eventually die, experts are still closely monitoring it because they do not know when it will go supernova. Scientists believe that Betelgeuse is much more massive than the Sun and that the bright red star will shine for the next 10 years. However, given the many unique phenomena occurring with the star, it is difficult to say if this prediction will remain accurate after the Great Dimming. Experts do not expect Betelgeuse to explode anytime soon. If Betelgeuse does go supernova, it will be the first cosmic explosion observed with the naked eye since Johannes Kepler witnessed one in 1604. However, researchers also believe this event will not happen soon, as they are still focused on studying the star's unusual behavior. Despite this, when exactly Betelgeuse will explode remains a mystery. Betelgeuse, one of the most fascinating stars in our sky, is often referred to as a red giant. If placed where the Sun is, it would extend to Jupiter's orbit. This massive star is on the brink of an explosion, but the universe doesn't operate in such straightforward terms. Cataclysmic events like supernovae have the potential to completely alter our perspective. While the possibility of Betelgeuse going supernova looms, scientists are still working to determine the sequence of events leading to its demise. By continuing to gather data from advanced telescopes such as the James Webb Space Telescope and the Hubble Space Telescope, astronomers remain cautious about predicting the timing of its explosion. Despite the star's remarkable behavior, including its puzzling dimming and brightening cycles, there is no certainty about when Betelgeuse will finally reach the end of its life. Some speculate that the explosion may still take thousands of years, while others believe it could occur much sooner, perhaps within the next few years or even months. The extraordinary data collected by these powerful telescopes, along with the star's eccentric behavior, has kept researchers on edge. They are meticulously observing Betelgeuse, using every tool available to detect subtle changes that might signal an impending supernova. When Betelgeuse does eventually explode, it will send shock waves through the universe, releasing an immense amount of energy. The explosion will briefly outshine the entire galaxy, appearing as bright as the full moon from Earth. While this event will be a magnificent cosmic display, it will not pose an immediate threat to Earth, as the star is located over 600 light-years away. However, the supernova will provide an extraordinary opportunity for scientists to study the final stages of a massive star's life and the phenomena associated with such a violent event. Betelgeuse's impending demise is not just a scientific curiosity. It is a reminder of the vastness and complexity of the universe. Stars like Betelgeuse play a critical role in the life cycle of galaxies, enriching the cosmos with the elements needed for new stars, planets, and potentially life itself. The death of such a star is not an end, but a transformation, as it releases heavy elements that will eventually seed new stellar systems. In the meantime, scientists continue to observe Betelgeuse and its behavior, unraveling the mystery of its future with each new discovery. The mystery deepens, and our understanding of the universe expands. Perhaps soon we will witness one of the most extraordinary events in the cosmos: Betelgeuse's transformation from a massive red supergiant into a spectacular supernova. Until then, the night sky remains a canvas of wonder, with Betelgeuse shining brightly as a symbol of the impermanence of life in the universe. As researchers closely monitor the star, the enigma surrounding its fate grows. Space scientists are especially focused on the fact that this star is nearing the end of its life cycle, and its unpredictable behavior is sparking great interest. It is important to remember that not all stars end their lives as supernovae. For example, smaller stars like our Sun will end their lives in a much quieter way, shedding their outer layers and leaving behind a white dwarf. However, Betelgeuse is a massive red supergiant, meaning that when it dies, it will go out with a spectacular bang, entirely different from the slow fading of smaller stars. The sheer size of Betelgeuse makes it a fascinating subject of study. With a radius several times larger than the Sun, if placed at the center of our solar system, it would extend beyond the orbit of Mars. This gives you a sense of just how massive it is compared to the Sun, which is already enormous by most star standards. The size of Betelgeuse means that it has consumed enormous amounts of fuel throughout its life. As it nears the end of its life, its core is rapidly collapsing under the force of gravity. This collapse will eventually trigger the violent explosion of a supernova. The process leading to Betelgeuse's explosion is complex. As it approaches supernova status, the star's core begins to contract and heat up, while its outer layers expand and cool. This creates an unstable environment, with periodic fluctuations in brightness. These changes in brightness, such as the dimming event observed in 2019, are signs that the star is entering a period of rapid change. This dimming may be related to a substantial ejection of material from the star's surface, which temporarily obscures its light. Despite these fluctuations, Betelgeuse continues to emit light, albeit erratically, making it a captivating object for study. The possibility that Betelgeuse may be a candidate for a nearby supernova has drawn the attention of space agencies and researchers worldwide. With current instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope and the Hubble Space Telescope, scientists are gathering an abundance of data on the star. These telescopes allow us to observe Betelgeuse in wavelengths previously unattainable, such as infrared and ultraviolet light, providing insights into the star's inner workings. Additionally, researchers are using advanced models to simulate the behavior of massive stars like Betelgeuse. These models help scientists predict the star's future behavior and estimate the timeline for when it will explode. While the exact timing of Betelgeuse's supernova remains uncertain, current data suggests it could happen soon. Some predictions suggest the explosion could occur within the next few years, while others estimate it may take several thousand years. Regardless of the timeline, Betelgeuse's impending explosion will undoubtedly be a landmark event in the study of stellar evolution. Although the explosion of Betelgeuse will not pose a direct threat to Earth, it will still provide researchers with a valuable opportunity to study the final moments of a massive star's life. By observing this event, astronomers will gain a deeper understanding of how massive stars die and what happens when they go supernova. The remnants of the explosion will supply new elements and materials to enrich the interstellar medium, contributing to the formation of new stars. In conclusion, Betelgeuse is not a star that is fading away. It is a cosmic clock ticking down to a spectacular event. As scientists continue to observe this giant of the night sky, we are reminded of the wonders of the universe and the delicate balance that governs the lives of stars. Whether it is today, tomorrow, or thousands of years from now, when Betelgeuse finally reaches the end of its life, it will leave behind a legacy that will shape the universe for billions of years to come.